One tip, if you have to mix your own coolant to water ratio, is to mix your coolant and water in a separate container outside of the vehicle. And once you have the proper ratio that you need, then you can pour it into the radiator and you'll know exactly the ratio that went in. As your engine heats up and excess pressure builds up, a little valve on your radiator cap will open up. And what this allows is excess radiator fluid to escape from the top of the radiator through a hose and into your radiator fluid reservoir. Now, if your radiator fluid level is low, it will do the opposite and siphon fluid from this reservoir back into the radiator. So to fill your radiator fluid reservoir, simply unscrew the cap on top. You can pour fluid inside until you see the fluid level rise to between the minimum and maximum lines on the side of the reservoir. As we saw, this radiator and the reservoir both have enough fluid in there. So now we'll replace the cap. So when replacing the cap, take note of the notches or the tabs that are on the cap and line them up with the corresponding notches that are in the top of the radiator. Once they're lined up, you need to push down on the radiator cap and turn in a clockwise fashion. The handles or the little knobs on the side of the radiator cap should line up with the radiator, and the cap should be secure and tight. Another thing you want to check when checking your radiator are the hoses that feed the coolant from the radiator into the engine. So there are two hoses on your radiator. One connects to the top of the radiator and one is at the bottom. So you want to visually inspect your hoses and check where the clamps clamp to the radiator and to the engine, and ensure that they are secure, that there are no leaks, and that the radiator hose itself is not cracked. You can see the other radiator hose here leads down to the bottom of the radiator and here to the back of the engine, and also make a visual check of that hose. So if your radiator hoses are cracked or if there's excess leaking around where they clamp onto the radiator or the engine, the hose and or the clamps may also need to be replaced.
Experience worship. Experience the Word. Experience the warmth of fellowship. Experience wholeness at Lighthouse. Join us every Sunday by 9 a.m. at the Hall Event Center, 131 Obafemi Awolowo Way, Radio Bus Stop, Ikeja, Lagos. Visit our website at www.lighthouseng.org or contact us at info@lighthouseng.org. The Lighthouse, lighting your pathway to destiny.